The following presentation may contain language unsuitable for elderly grandparents, household pets, and nuns. Unnamed Drag Productions accepts no responsibility for any resulting homosexuality, teenage pregnancy, or chemical dependency that may transpire as a result of listening to this garbage fountain. You have been warned. Enjoy! Unnamed Drag Podcast.
Oh! Could it be? Heavens to Betsy! Women have returned. Have they returned? Have they really?
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, either way, welcome back to the Unnamed Drag Podcast. And are you in such a treat for today, people listening at home?
Are you in such a treat for today? That's all too on stick house.
We're actually in drag, so if you go to YouTube today,
yes,
you can see that we have been professional women for the premiere of season 2 of the Unnamed Drag Podcast. Yeah. How are you feeling, Marilyn? How was your break?
It was good, yeah. We did a festive, very very if.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Like,
do you feel like rejuvenated and reborn, or do you just feel slightly less dead inside than usual?
Oh God, no. Just mounted stuff on top of that. Suppressed. That's the key. How about you? How was your break? How was your festive season?
Well, 3 days is a long time to be a house guest in a place where you just have to hold in all of your farts and your feelings.
I mean, that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, well, at least the other day you had the decency to just nip in the kitchen.
I was in her house, well, I'm in her house now, but I was like, I'm just going to pip upstairs because I have to fart. With that level of friends.
Yeah, and then later on it just into, I'm just going to go in your kitchen, is that okay? I was like, well, that's where the cat shit, so it might as well be where the dog farts. I know, I've missed working with you too.
Why?
I don't know. This is actually the first, drag thing we've done of 2020, by the way. Did you realise that?
Well, I mean, we made over the bin.
We did make over the bin.
Lest ye forget.
Yeah, sorry, lest you forget. But it's the first time that we've been women.
And we put in minimum effort.
Oh, I know. For maximum payout today.
Absolutely. We both tried something new with our makeup today.
I didn't glue down my brows. I'm just giving myself a tension headache with a lot of stockings.
I've glued down half a brow and tried to work more with my natural features than usual. I still paint like a cartoon character.
But I think that you look very, demure. You're like demure. You're so demure.
Demure. Manure.
I don't really know what that name is, but I enjoy it. So...
This is another problem about us doing drag.
What?
In any sort of thing that we're filming. Because normally with the podcast, we just have a banter like
blah,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now, every now and again, we'll go, ooh. Because we've got the viewfinder switch round, so we're like, how's my makeup? How am I doing?
Yeah, I forgot that this becomes a little bit problematic because we are when you give a pigeon, not a pigeon.
Magpie.
A budgerigar, I was going to say. Like when you give a pigeon a mirror, if you give a pigeon a mirror, you just go, oh!
So you?
Whatever has become of me?
Oh my God, you are a pigeon.
I'm the pigeon of drag.
Yeah, just wandering around looking for pastry.
The one that got its toe caught in the tram lines and now it's just dragging itself along.
That's chewing gum.
With its old hippity. Is that what does that?
Yeah, if they're treading gum, their foot gets all
No, that's horrible.
Isn't it awful?
Everybody remember to bin your gum. And also, put your fucking cigarette butts in a bin because birds eat them.
I mean, they've got to get nutrition somewhere.
I mean, that's why I eat them, but it's mostly just to give myself diarrhea. I'm trying to get ready for Paris Fashion Week. I'm not going, I just like to read it. So...
While feeling skinny.
Hey, speaking of shit... No, it's like a terrible second.
Amazing.
Speaking of shit and unexpected things, today we were going to talk about le kink and le sex positivity.
Yes, sexual positivity.
But with our usual disgusting, stanky, what is wrong with you girl spin.
Yeah. We're going to be positive about sex and leave you thinking, why are you positive about sex?
You've got nothing to feel positive about, you rat weasels.
Positively not getting sex.
You can tell that nothing's touched that in a while. Sorry. Just haven't had sex in a really long time. So, Marilyn, for question numero uno, oops, what's your kink?
What is my kink? I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of one of those people who...
Do you make love like a white Christian woman?
Pretty much. I mean, the thing is, I talk a big game.
You do. You talk the biggest game.
I talk the biggest game. I'm like, my arse is like, I could take the Empire State Building.
My butthole's like the M1. Everyone's been up it at least once.
Yeah. You have to fight your way through, and then you're like, am I in Calais? No.
Take this compass. You're going to encounter a wizard. Like, she makes it exciting.
Yeah. When really, I'm like, no. That's my mild discomfort. I'm like, this is shit. I'm leaving. Like, no.
This is shit. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, being a gay man is quite difficult, generally, but also, like, sex is this whole thing. You have to prepare for it. You have to know it's going to happen at least 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah, you need like written notice. You need to like knuckle down, have a good clear out, get all the bats out of your plumbing. I mean, unless you're feeling particularly brave because you've been on a juice cleanse and you're on like day 5 and you know there's nothing in there.
Even then, he's going to be like, I've got kale under my foreskin.
Yeah, true.
No,
like nobody wants sweetgrass in their like little piss slit.
Did you take ginger? This hurts. Yeah, no.
When I did that fucking awful juice fast, every morning I had to have half a golden delicious apple and some ginger
in your butt?
blitzed into a shot.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it probably
was it nice?
It was. That was the best part of the whole like fucking juice fast. But it probably would have been like if anyone was ringing me, it would have just been like, oh. This is
when your asshole went the cinnamon challenge.
Gonna bowl like the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
But anyway, no, I talk a big game. Like in my head, and like.
In your head, you're like the sluttiest courtesan.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like porn is all like fucked us up as well because in porn it's just so easy. They just get on with it. It's all glamorous and
absolutely
like, pre-lubricated and all that fun. But then actual sex is never that smooth and it's never that.
No one's actually got like alopecia of the butthole. Like they've all shaved themselves.
That's another
the
thing.
landing strip.
I'm a hairy boy.
You are, Mr. Tumnus.
And I'm okay with that. And when someone's like, "Oh, you should shave," I'm like, "Why?"
You're not my mom.
I'm a boy. I'm a real boy.
Except for when you're a woman.
Except for when I'm a woman. But that's the thing, like, I don't know. In my head, have a lot of like, ooh, kinky, I like it dirty, I like it real flat, ooh, yeah. But in reality, I'm like, just pat my head and call me pretty.
Just make sure I've got some cab fare and some toast for afterwards and I'm absolutely fine.
Like food.
Here is some cab fare. Like that's it.
But also, I do kind of enjoy, I don't know, like power play. I enjoy that dynamic. I enjoy power play and it's not always one-sided. Like, I enjoy both sides of that depending on the day I've had.
Oh, okay. So you like to be the punchline and the joke.
Yeah. Well, look at me.
Yeah, because that's like one of my favourite things to ask a person that's completely...
Are you the punchline of the joke?
Are you a bottom or a top? Are you the punchline of the joke? And then in their head they have to figure out which is which.
Yeah.
If you're versatile, I don't know what the equivalent would be. If you're just like, no, I'm the setup.
And the dubious segue.
Yeah, and the intro. Commedia dell'arte. I'm really not sure.
But no, I power play is mine. But it doesn't have to be, it just depends on, and this is the same for everyone, depends on what mental state you're in.
Sure.
Like how you see yourself depicts how you act in bed.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Got you.
Yeah. How about you? What's your kinks before I psychoanalyze the situation?
I'm very like, I would probably say that my thing is like up close and personal, like a different POVs basically.
What do you mean?
Like face straddling or just like full on having just like balls in the face, that sort of scenario.
Well, like
up,
intimate.
Like up close and personal. Yeah, I'm very like into that.
Is that a kink?
Maybe
it's a turn on.
Maybe that's just like a preference, I suppose. But,
so what? Just you like having things close to your face?
When I was younger, I used to, especially like the like skinhead aesthetic. I used to think that was like
again power play,
incredibly hot. But then that very quickly went over into like neo-Nazi, like fetish porn, and that's where you kind of have to go like, well, I like the aesthetic, but not the message, so I'm gonna just like, I'm just gonna soft shoe out of this situation.
That's another thing about porn. You very quickly end up in like down the rabbit hole somewhere that you didn't end up wanting to go.
When we were prepping, no pun intended, for this podcast, and I told you. There's only so many times that you can catch yourself in a moment when you're like absolutely out of your mind and watching someone spit in like a gaping asshole. and you just think, how did I get to this part of the internet? Because now, I mean, porn is like a whole different, conversation. But obviously the thing with that is because it's all now just like the streaming and stuff, it's so incredibly accessible that you do just end up in these loops. Yeah. It's like what it used to be with YouTube. Because, I'm still of the age where porn would appear magically in the woods, but it would be titties, so I wasn't, really
it wasn't your
interested
porn.
Or whatever. It wasn't my porn, exactly.
Yeah.
But then, like, you might catch a glimpse of a butthole on, like, Channel 4 after midnight, and you'd record that and, like, watch that, and that was your porn, or the back of the case catalogue.
Footballers' Wives.
What?
Yeah, Footballers' Wives. It used to be like
lots of peen.
There was some peen, and then there was a gay storyline once, and I was like, I practically pulled it off. I'm lucky to have a girl left.
I yanked myself to pieces. Queer as Folk, that was another one.
I was too young for that.
Oh, see, that was
that already kind of passed when I hit wanking age.
Yeah, that was like just the right. That was hitting the sweet spot for me. When
mine was
that came along, it was a blessing in disguise for my.
If I'd had Queer as Folk, I would have never left my front room.
No.
But front room?
That's brave.
Mum, get out!
Have you ever heard of a danger wank?
Oh yes.
If that was your fucking kink,
just like shouting mum and then go.
What do you do when you grow up as like you'd have to leave the door open and shout out to your neighbour, "Oi, Jean, can you come upstairs?" and then you'd like have until they like came round from their garden.
Fuck's sake!
Oh, what if your kink was like very, very specific? Your kink was looking your neighbour dead in the eye, having a conversation over the fence, but the whole time you're like pulling the patch and they're not allowed to like notice that you're doing that.
Please stop. Please stop looking me in the eye and mimicking masturbation.
That would add like a whole new level to Home Improvement. Do you remember that?
They'd come round to your side of the fence just for a coffee and be like, "Oh, there's a lot of bird shit on your wall."
In this one spot where you always talk to me. Did you get a parakeet with diarrhea? Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's the reason. Oh God.
But on to specific kinks. Would you remember that conversation that we had recently about oh God, I'm gonna have to try.
I don't even know how we started.
I'm gonna have to try and find it. And so obviously, aside from doing Unnamed Drag Podcast, we talk pretty like
sometimes.
Like, unfortunately, we talk to each other every single day, which doesn't really help matters because this is bad enough as it is.
We encourage each other to be worse.
Exactly. So we end up having these conversations.
We spiral.
Which just come from nowhere and then need to go away.
So they need to be locked in a cement case and thrown in the river.
That was it. So it came from, there was a meme of Bowser and Princess Peach in Super Mario.
Oh yeah!
And someone captioned it, takes a shot, slams down the shot glass. Bowser, Mario and Peach are in a polyamorous triad with a kidnapping and rescue kink.
Kidnapping and rescue kink.
And then we were like, oops, that's my kink, spicing up awkward dinner parties and kidnapping. Because before that, we'd been talking about...
I always shout at people at dinner parties.
Yeah, and end up making it like a little bit awkward. Like, how much money does everyone make? Yeah. Has anyone ever said anything racist? No. You know? So then it turned into, if you kidnap me after I've started a conversation about money with a distant relative, I will literally come in my own eyes. And then yours was...
And then I put, if I coerce a family member into revealing a deep secret at the dinner table whilst in handcuffs, I'll literally spaff out my tits.
I loved that. Spaff out my... That's some, like, hentai quality porn right there. I will literally
spaff out my tits.
If through the keyhole of the box I'm locked inside, I hear Grandpa shout, "No, I never said darky, I said coloured," about my cousin's new boyfriend, I will fill that trunk with enough seed to drown in.
Oh, Jesus. To which I replied...
True story, that actually happened with one of my friend's grandparents.
They filled a box with enough seed to drown in?
That bit, yeah, wow. Exactly.
To which I replied, if I'm tied to a tree at a family barbecue and my sister breaks up with her boyfriend because he's gay, I will come so much the tree will die and grass won't grow again for hundreds of years.
It's just semen full of copper, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, but like you've salt the earth too much, the grass won't grow.
Oh my God, what? There's more of these and it's just terrible. Oh wait, if there was no kidnapping to this bit, it was you. Okay, so if I get kidnapped and my aunt and uncle absent-mindedly announce themselves as polyamorous in front of my homophobic neighbour by explaining their new lover, a pansexual gender-fluid librarian named Rain, couldn't be there, I will flood a fucking Welsh Valley village with my spunk. One more, we've got time for one more, because I'm really enjoying this.
To which I responded, if my family are flipping through a slideshow from my kidnappers of images of me being held hostage and then accidentally happen upon a photo of my uncle motting out my sister, then my body will generate cum at such an alarming rate that my inner walls will rupture and I will be rapidly inflating human water balloon, a viscous, creamy man slop, which, when exploded, will laminate all life within 500 miles.
I laughed so much that noise stopped coming out.
What are we doing?
I don't know. It's absolutely awful. If my capture draws a vial of blood from my erect penis and includes in the parcel it's sent to my family in a memory stick with a file entitled Watch Me, which is in fact just a confession of Auntie Pat discussing with her mum that they don't like the sister-in-law's new hair and think she's a fat minge. The climax this induces could literally burst through the vault of a bank like it was a Japanese wall. Oh god. Oh no wait. Oh we actually are at the end. This is the last one. Take it home, Marilyn.
Oh okay. If my mum lets slip the actual amount of money she gave to my sister rather than the lie she tells my stepdad at post-negotiation drinks while I'm bound and gagged inside the very sofa they're sat on, I will ejaculate so violently that my poor mother will be thrown through the ceiling into the sky by a hot fire hose of dense man mustache, where she will be doomed to float forever in the vacuum of space, forever laminated by thick fap sap. Laminated by fap sap.
That's awful. That's like, oh my god, that's like in Superman when they get caught. God. They get caught in like the mirror. They're just lying to his face, but it's just solidified seed. Oh god,
so kink.
But I love this idea of having like a really because people do have like.
Very specific.
Yeah, like I know enough people that are SWs, sex workers, and sex work is real work and needs to be destigmatized. Can we just say?
Sex work is the hardest work.
Oh my god, are you kidding? Like having to pretend that you like those people. Like it's bad enough doing.
It's
drag.
bad enough doing it. It's bad enough pretending you like people at an office. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's bad enough, like doing that in drag, but at least I don't end up with cum on my shoes. Well, sometimes. Yeah, so people who are like, they do camming, or they do like live play sessions, or whatever.
Or dominatrix.
Yeah. But some of the conversations that they end up having, just like, it's something very specific that I like. It's like, I want to, make love to a birthday cake, and then you piss on it, and then I eat it. Like, that sort of thing. Like, that's specifically what they want.
Wow.
And I think that's so fascinating that someone, like, that just pops up in your head, like...
They've told themselves that story.
Like, I want that. And I'd love to get into the psychology behind some kinks, just to know, like, what? Do you know what I mean? I'm so fascinated by it. And maybe it is because I'm like a vanilla bean pod, like, white bread, mayonnaise lover. I remember
when I was growing up and I was like probably about 9 or something, so just on the cusp of being horny. Do you know what I mean? When it just kind of starts to happen. I used to have this recurring
you accidentally brush hump your pillow and you're not quite sure why it feels as good as it does.
I used to have this fantasy that my duvet was like a giant slug monster and it was eating me. And I remember that making me feel like a fuzzy way that I now know is just a little bit turned on, but I couldn't tell you why that turned me on at the time.
When I was a young wart goth,
when I was a young wart goth,
it would be not understanding, like, if you had a bit of I don't know, like if you were scratching your nipple or something, like if your nipple was itching, you scratch it, like, why does it make you crave something? And I concluded, again, like, on the cusp of...
on the cusp of horny.
Of sexual maturity or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not very sexually mature. I'm sexually immature, thank you. I concluded it was a can of Coke. What? The craving. So if I like, scratched my nipple, it was like, that makes me want something. And then my brain was like, a can of Coke.
Coca-Cola have gotten in there.
where it's an actual
Holidays are coming.
What? In actual fact, it was dick, but apparently...
Same thing.
Maybe I was craving dick the thickness of a Coke can.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I've had sex dreams where like I've had sex with someone, like again, talk a big game, dream a big game.
Yeah.
Like, and they've got like just 2 Coke cans stacked on top of each other where their dick should be.
Did they actually say like enjoy cock, like that t-shirt rip-off? I've had some like bizarre dreams as well, where I've like gone to have sex with a guy and then when I get there there's like nothing. And I'm just so like disappointed and confused.
I've never had that.
Yeah, like literally just like smooth, like the angels in that film that I can't remember the name of, Dogma? Dogma?
Oh yeah.
I think in the film Dogma they've like aliens have no genitals.
So, what happens in the dream? Do you just go, that's a shame?
It normally just then goes into like I'm dream very strange, so that's like, you know, a conversation for another day.
So drugs are hard.
Yeah, exactly. It normally segues into like something else, but the feeling is normally just like, oh, what the fuck? Why has this happened? What's, you know, blah blah blah. So again, I'm very curious to work out where that comes from, as much as kinks. But anyway, back to kinks.
Back to kinks. We've gone off on a lot of tangents in this episode.
It always happens.
It does.
Happy 2020, everyone. New decade, same us.
Welcome back.
We actually had a conversation of we should write down some questions to give us some guidance in case we tangent.
And then we went, no.
Tangented it anyway.
I enjoy tangenting. Which is...
Oops, that's my kink.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Kink shaming is my kink.
I really love like tangent play, so it's like just as they think that I'm getting into the dick, I'll just disappear. And
I'll
look
just
at their
go,
armpit.
oh, I've got a shopping list.
I enjoy an armpit actually.
I love an armpit.
Yeah, I think an armpit is very underrated.
That's the thing about being gay as well, because I don't mean to generalise, but I'm gonna. Like, gay people generally, because they've kind of had to sexually discover themselves already, tend to be a lot more, I don't know, not sexually advanced, but more sexually open to like new things, because because technically being gay was a new thing when you were discovering yourself.
And also in sex education, no one ever told you like where you put your penis or what when and you know what when where.
So we've been figuring it out since day dot. So like.
I love this theory. Yeah, I'm really here for it.
It's true. And, well, it's true to me. And also, like, that's the thing because whenever, like you just said, I'm really into armpits, I went, oh yeah, me too. But my brain hadn't even thought of that as like a kink.
No.
I wouldn't go, oh, that's kinky. It's to a normal person.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's internalised homophobia, isn't it? To a normie. To a muggle. Like,
well, it's like the first time that, you know, you ever hear about anyone outside of gay sex, like enjoying rimming, and you're just like, that's our thing, you can't take that. But
these guys at work, these chavvy guys,
it's for everyone. You can eat the booty.
No, it's not, it's our thing. These chavvy guys at work were like, yeah, I got her to give me a batty wash. I was like, what's a batty wash? And they were like, when a girl licks your bumhole. And I was like, rimming? That's a thing already. Put it down.
Yeah, exactly. And also the fact, like, how much of a like an actual, you know, piece of toxic masculinity shit do you have to be to call it like a batty what? Like, are you kidding me?
Straight people are grim.
Of all the things.
It's all straight people weird.
Listen, as long as you keep that to yourself behind closed doors.
I say wearing synthetic fur, a wig, a dog lead. Straight people are weird. In full drag.
I just look like I want to dance with somebody that loves me.
I mean, we both look like disco hookers and I'm here for it.
Yeah, very much so. So yeah, tune into YouTube if you're listening on Spotify. If you're listening on YouTube, tune into Spotify because either way, like, we just... ratings. So...
Have you ever been...
Oops, ratings, that's my kink. I'm just going to punctuate that with anything else.
Have you ever been, like, ambushed by a kink?
Oh, like an unexpected kink in the bagging area?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait.
Unexpected kink in the bagging area!
No, it was, last night, it was the tail end of that, like, a repeat of Mock the Week, and it was when they have to come up with, like, catchphrases. And normally I don't find it very funny, but one of them was, like, announcements that you'd never hear over a tannoy, and it was unexpected item in the shagging area. So that would be, like, if they...
Yeah.
Wrong hole full.
McCavities.
Stop. that. I don't think I've ever had someone suddenly be like, oh, you know,
a friend of mine has.
Just put your finger in my whatever. Like, I know, I've never been ambushed, fortunately. Or unfortunately, maybe I would have been really into it.
Someone I know, who I'm not going to name, just in
That
case.
isn't you. Do you have
That
to?
isn't me.
Do you have to clarify
Friend
that
of
it's
a
not
friend.
you? Friend of a friend of a friend.
Asking for a friend. No, like, I'm not going to name them just in case they don't want this story sharing, and I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
They were...
Michael Heath from Devon. No, I'm kidding.
43 is a teacher. So they were
the microphone stand over, getting overexcited.
partway through making love.
Were they making love or were they like bashing baboon uglies?
Oh, they were topping a guy.
Okay.
Who
Making love.
and then halfway through goes, "Oh, I really have to shit," and they just kind of go, "Okay, do you want to carry on?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, carry on." And then goes, "Do you mind if I push?" And you go, "Yeah, I do."
What? They wanted to poop?
They wanted to poop.
They wanted to poop like around the dick?
They wanted to make boom boom while someone was boom booming.
Ew.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But then what if it went like...
I mean, I don't want to kink shame.
No, but
But at
like...
the same time, like,
That's
if
a
you're
lot
not
for in the
expecting it,
moment.
Yeah, if you're not expecting it, I would have put a tarp down.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
do it in a paddling pool.
I'm more just thinking about...
care about my
I'm more
sheets.
just thinking about like the image of afterwards like having to go for a pee in like a solid
No.
string worm. A gummy worm.
Poop noodle.
I was
Poop
gonna say a
noodle.
gummy worm of feces. Poop noodle sounds a lot more friendly. Yeah, that, just like having to clog that out. Yeah.
Having to froob out someone else's shit.
I think that would be my aversion more than anything else.
I love that this is our first episode.
Welcome back, bitch. But you know, the amount of times that I've thought that I had a genital wart and then it just turned out to be sweet corn, I mean, it happens.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't know if this is a kink, but I genuinely believe that every single human being looks slightly sexier with blood splatter on their face.
Oh no, I see.
You know when you
I
see
see
like
that
in a
that's
film and
thing.
someone's got a little bit of blood splatter and they're all like sweating.
Like, do you remember the
Sexy.
There's the album cover for the musician Andrew W.K. for the guy who did Party Hard, Party
Andrew
Hard.
Lloyd Webber?
No, Andrew W.
Magical Mr. Mustopheles.
Stop it.
Rum Tum Tugger.
You know the song, if you heard it, is called Party Hard, but he had a nosebleed, and people's thing was always like, oh my god, that's so hot, that like looks really fit, that he had this like fucking bloody face and his hair looks all like lank and greasy. Like he'd been in a fight and won.
Okay, cool.
I think maybe that's what the kink is. It's just
Not for
like,
me.
you look like you fucked someone up and lovely, and now I want to do it. Yeah.
You can dominate. Oh, that thing you said it to someone, like, oh bitch, you couldn't even dominate a wank.
I know, I found it on Twitter, but then I have been saying it a lot.
I
yeah.
carry that with me.
Exactly. I know,
yeah.
sometimes it's just like a good hard slam, you know, like...
Oh, absolutely.
Like their guts are on fire and the only thing that you can do is like put it out with your penis.
Yeah.
And they want that.
What about pee-pee?
Pee-pee?
Piss.
I'm not adverse to
Piss
pee-pee.
spray.
I've never really like... I've never really dipped my toe in the water, but...
Into the warm water.
Wet the baby's head.
Piffly.
But I'm not adverse to it. But again, it's that whole thing of like, you can't just do that in bed. Like it has to.
No.
You have to pre-plan.
Halfway through, who's gonna go, do you want to go squat in the shower?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to go lie in the bath? Like if I'm lying in the bath, it's my own pig bath. Do you know what I mean?
What
It's
about
not for you to-
dark rooms?
Dark room. I mean, married lady, missed that whole experience of dark room in a
Yeah, I've been in a dark room once, and I think I've told this story on this podcast where me and my friend Phil went in holding hands.
yeah.
And someone touched us from the dark. We both went, ah, and ran away. That's my dark room experience.
You fucking cock teasing twink. Honestly.
Again, talk a big game.
But again, not adverse to the idea of it.
No, it's like talk a big game, think a big game. In my head, it's sexy. Like, ooh, sexy.
But that's the thing, like, some kinks can just stay on your head and just, like, remain
Yeah.
as fantasies, because there's always, and this is probably going to be the big crescendo, because I've nearly finished this Red Bull, but, quite a common kink or fetish that men have is castration. But
Really?
Actually having their testicles cut off. It's like
What?
It's like the ultimate kind of, I don't know, quote unquote humiliation, like the taking away of your masculinity or whatever.
Power play.
But they, you know, always have to be told by the sex worker, well, firstly, I can't do that because I will go to prison.
Yeah.
And secondly, if we do that, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Like, there's nowhere, you can't grow them back like a lizard and just get them
Can you
cut
imagine?
Get them cut off over and over and over again.
Like, that's your X-Men ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That would be the noise it would make. It would just go...
Like a subtle fart.
Exactly. But yeah, like those and again, people who are just like basically they want something to be done that's like very, very dangerous to the point at which they might actually they want to be taken to like the cusp of death.
Which I can see being fun.
I mean, there's that kink, that mummification thing, that just freaks me out. That makes me feel claustrophobic just looking at it. Yeah.
Like as much as like again, it's the power play. I don't get enjoying the power play because like who doesn't enjoy that?
100%.
But
and can I just also say that I'm very much about like whatever you do, if it's consensual and if it's safe because you've made agreement. I mean, safe as in like you've set your levels and
yeah, you can trust each other.
Yeah, like no hard.
But also, it's kind of sexy if you can't trust.
Last night I made the mistake of changing my safe word to harder.
Oh God.
Oh God!
And now there's refugees wandering down your butthole.
Absolutely, they came over in a dinghy into my dinghy. Hey,
not the Channel Tunnel. There's somewhere much worse than France.
Oh God! But yeah, I just think
that's a kink.
That is a kink, and farting as well.
Yeah, farting. Never been into farting.
And pissing through your underwear and.
But
stuff
again,
like
as a gay man, like you kind of have to just accept farting as part of it.
Well,
Because if you're literally pounding away at an asshole and it makes a noise and that puts you off, like...
Oh, sort yourself out, Deborah.
Get a grip.
If that's your issue,
Yeah,
I swear to God. But, you know, what's that joke, what's the difference between a gay man and a refrigerator?
What?
The fridge doesn't fart when I take the meat out.
That's a good one.
It's good, right?
Wow.
Excuse me.
And on that note...
And on that note, that was sex, positivity, and kinks and dreams and all sorts of shit. You know the drill by now. Welcome the fuck back to the
Welcome back.
podcast.
Did you have a lovely time? I had a lovely time.
I had a lovely time.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week to talk about fuck knows what.
Yes.
But in the meantime, you know, new year, new us. I'm going to start saying like, comment, subscribe. But what we're going to stick with is what we're going to do with the podcast, Marilyn.
So what I want you to do with this podcast is that I want you to record it onto a dictaphone and then slip it inside a sub's asshole while pressing play, and then just send him into a dark room so that people can just hear us go, pushy joke. And it just puts everyone off.
Could you imagine just as they walked in, just from the dictaphone inside the butthole, you heard, ah! That screech.
Just the muffled.
I mean, if that's not going to make you come, I don't know what is. Until next time, be safe, be consensual, but be sexy. Mwah.
I love you.
Bye.
Unnamed Drag Podcast.